My 30th ex-husband, 32M, won't see our dying son. We got married 9 years ago and have a 7-year-old son. He steadily lost interest in our kid and was cheating on me with his now current wife. We divorced when he was 3 years old and he stopped seeing our son. He didn't want anything to do with her and I had to go to court to get him to pay child support. Our son developed cancer not too long after the divorce and despite treatments over the years. His latest diagnosis came as terminal and that he might not survive by the end of the year. There was a local wish company who tried to grant wishes. Most kids would go on vacations or meet celebrities. My son just wanted to spend one more day with his dad. After some time, I was able to get my ex-husband on my phone today, but all he said was that he was glad our child would be dead soon so that way he would stop with the child support and that he would file a restraining order if any of us called him again. I'm devastated and I don't know how I'm going to tell my son. Any advice how or even how to get my ex to change his mind is appreciated. Edit. Thank you everyone for your kind words and support. I know some suggested having someone else play dad, but my son knows his looks too well. I'll probably just say he got sick and couldn't see him. Technically not a lie since my ex is a sick man. I will find a way to see if a wish can be granted that allowed him to do something good for the world. Your kid is 7 and hasn't seen his dad since he was 3 and that's his last wish? Did he have an idealized version of his dad because surely he didn't have actual memories of him? Regardless, dad is trash. I think I would lie. I would say your dad's busy on a critical mission to Mars to save mankind or some other lie that could make your son proud of his dad's sacrifice and give a reason why he's not able to visit. It will suck to make him look good. But your son has already made up a bunch of stuff in his own mind about his absent father. I'm sorry you're suffering. With that thinking you won't be able to change his mind. My petty ass would publicly call him out so everyone knows what he said and what kind of person he is. It doesn't sound like you will change his mind. What a heartless person. I would shield your son from it as much as possible. He doesn't need that. I'm not sure what the best way to tell him is, but maybe just say that it doesn't seem possible, as his dad is busy and you have had trouble getting in touch with him. Tell him that you understand that is something he really wants, but what would his second wish be? This man is evil and no good resides within him. I'm so sorry you are losing your little lovey. Children are so precious and life is so valuable. I can't imagine the pain you're in. So like totally insane. An arguably unethical suggestion. But how recent has your son seen his father? How familiar is he with his appearance? You said y'all split when he was 3 and that he hasn't been involved at all since. So perhaps if it could be done like really well and your son doesn't really remember what his father looks like, maybe you could find a close trusted person who looks very similar to come and play the part of a caring father for like an hour or afternoon or whatever. This is a frankly insane and extremely questionable choice of action, but perhaps it could be pulled off. I mean, I really don't think this is a good idea for anyone. But just thinking about your son and his desperation for that experience, I would be remiss if I didn't make the suggestion as problematic as it is. There is definitely a place in hell for your ex. The best thing you can do for your son is to tell him, Daddy unfortunately is very sick himself and can't see you. He told me to tell you how much he loves you though, and he wishes he wasn't sick so he could hug you. I know it requires lying, but your son and his little heart are the only things that matter right now. Dying thinking that your dad loves you, dying thinking he doesn't. Fuck that guy. The first can't believe people like this walk among us. So, your ex is an asshole. However, since your son is dying, I'm going to suggest you hire someone to do a deep fake of your husband. Make it a video message to your son saying how much he loves him so the child can pass on peace. I'm so very sorry for what you're going through. This is so sad. Is there another good man in your family or life who could spend the day with him and tell him he wishes he was his son? I am so sorry for what you are going through. But for that comment, I would go nuclear after your son had passed. Ruin your ex's reputation. No defamation or libel BC, it would be completely true. For your son, I would be there and tell him how much you mean to him. I am so sorry. After some time, I was able to get my ex-husband on my phone today, but all he said was that he was glad our child would be dead soon, so that way he would stop with the child support and that he would file a restraining order if any of us called him again. I'd like to volunteer to kick this mofo's ass. Does your son idolize anyone else? Superhero? Because you could get a superhero to come and tell your son that his dad is too sick to be there, but send him instead? Your ex-husband is just an amazingly horrible person. I'm so sorry. I honestly like the doppelganger idea though. Someone who looks similar enough and will play the part of loving dad for a day. Also agree with the advice to shame him publicly. Not for the purpose of getting him to do it, I wouldn't even let him now, but just for its own sake. Someone that heartless is probably a danger to society. So sorry you are going through this. X is a pos! Exclamation mark. Can one of his friends pretend to be dad? Are the ex-husband's parents involved in their grandson's life? If so, how do they feel about their son? I read some of your comments about how your child would recognize your ex because he sees pictures of him regularly. But what about the voice? Could you maybe hire someone who could pretend to be his dad and have that person have a long phone call with your son? That would work well with your excuse of his dad being on a mission or whatever. If your son feels that even if his dad is busy, he's still making time for a long phone call, that'll probably feel at least somewhat satisfying. Also, I'm so sorry you are going through this. I lost my sister when I was young and my mother never really recovered from it. I wish you all the strength in the world. Reading this was stressful and I can't even imagine what you are going through. I am so sorry for everything that happened. Make a post on social media publicly calling him out by name. Tag his family, mutual friends, co-workers, anyone who knows him. People like that deserve to be publicly shamed for their vile behavior. I'm so sorry. Your ex sounds like a sociopath. If he sent that as a text, I would hold on to it. And then when there is no way any backlash can occur, expose him to his boss, friends, and his family. For now, all you can do is remind your son he is loved. Letting him know his dad is unwell and can't make it was a good decision. If there is any father figure characters he likes, you could see if Make-A-Wish can set up an introduction. Give him one good day with someone wholesome.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.